In the book of 1 John chapter 5, verse 14. In the book of 1 John chapter 5, verse 14. And this is a confidence, not John, 1 John chapter 5, verse 14. And this is a confidence that we have in Him, that if we ask anything according to His will, He hears us. Our God is not deaf. But you must pray and talk to God. If you don't pray and talk to God, sorry, God won't want to listen. Because the Bible says if we ask anything according to His will, He hears us. So let us all be a prayerful church. Not a playful church, but a prayerful church. Strength comes from sacrifice. How can you gain strength if you do not sacrifice? Now we have examples I like to quote because it's very fresh in the mind. In Olympics, today we are seeing the Beijing Olympics. What do we see? We see a lot of sacrifice. People who go through the extra mile of their strength to just get that gold medal. A lot of sacrifice. We saw the badminton battle between our Lee Chong-wei and Lin Dan or whatever his name, the Chinese world number one. You see how they fight. The Chinese sacrifice every ounce of his strength. All the agility you call it, he will fight. But our Lee Chong-wei was somehow subdued. Like, having seen a ghost like that, no, he couldn't even challenge this person anymore. He didn't go all out to sacrifice like what he did in the earlier few battles he fought. When our apostles goes up to preach the gospel, they sacrifice themselves. They were put in prison, they were mocked, they were flogged, they were almost put to the point of death. Yet they sacrifice themselves. But God is not asking you to sacrifice yourself. God had given you an example in Acts chapter 2, which we just now read from chapter 2, verse 40 to 47. What did these believers sacrifice? These are good examples. They sold their goods, they sacrificed their possessions, and they sacrificed their greed. If you do not, or is not able to sacrifice your possession, means you still have some love for your possession. There is still an element of greed. They all had all things in common. They sacrifice their arrogance and they sacrifice their pride. Why? The rich now can eat together with the poor. In our country today, there are many people who are very rich and they do not even want to sit beside a poor man. They do not want to even dine beside a poor man. And do you know this or not? If ever you go for any function, be it a wedding function, be it some company function, they always have a very special table where they put all the dato and duck meat for you. Sometimes you don't even have a chance to sit there. Do you all realize that? Why? Because they have their pride, they have their arrogance. And to be seen eating with these poor people, to them is shameful. But obviously, we, the poor people, don't even want to sit at that table because we have nothing common to talk to them. Because they thought everything is to do with wealth and power when we have nothing of them. So, these people, they have all things common, means they are willing to sacrifice all that and come down and sit to be with the common people. That is what they have sacrificed. They ate together. So they sacrifice also their food and they sacrifice their ego. With one thing, with gladness and singleness of heart. They enjoy that company, they enjoy that. They sacrifice themselves. Now we have seen our Prime Minister trying to show sacrifice. How? By trying to join the queue, lining up to enter into the LRT and MRT. And to his horror, he said, wow, this is bad. He should have seen this 6 years ago. But now he's trying to see. He's trying to have these things in common with the common people. But it's only for show. Okay? It is not truly sacrifice. Why do it now and not earlier? The next question we will ask, what do we do about sacrifice? They have done that part. What do we do about sacrifice? How much do we really care about our spiritual growth? Do all of us here care about spiritual growth? Or are you more caring about the growth of your own tree in your garden? Or the growth of your bank account? Or the growth of your business? So how much do we really care about spiritual growth? There is nothing wrong with the growth in our bank, the growth in our business, the growth in our tree. There's nothing wrong. But it's which one coming in priority? Which one become, like just now we studied in Corinthians, which one become your God? Your small c. How much do we really care about spiritual benefit of others? Why bother our brother fall down spiritually? Be dead lah. Less men, more share. Is that what God wants us to be? In fact, God told us He wants all of us to be saved, not less men, more share. In fact, God is more men, more share. Because God is a God of abundance. How much do we really care about spiritual strength of the church? Do we all care about the growth of the church? We bought all these nice chairs. Why? Because we want all these nice chairs to be seated, not for display, not to absorb the sound so that there is no echo, but for more spiritually quality members to come and sit in. So now these are the three questions. Our spiritual growth of others, and then spiritual strength of the church. How much do we really care? That question only you can answer. I cannot answer for you. Individually, we have to answer it for ourselves. But there is one thing which the Bible commanded us to do. In the books of Romans, chapter 12, verse 1. Let us look at the Bible. In the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 1. The Bible says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. God is just asking for this. Present your own self, because we are the temple of the living God, as a sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God. Do not destroy this temple, because if you destroy this temple, God will surely destroy you. And that is what God is trying to tell us. You have now been brought out from the darkness into the light. You have been purchased with the blood of Christ, who sacrificed Himself on the cross, that He may bring us back to God. Now that you are taken out, brought back, and made clean, be a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God. Do not make it unclean anymore. Do not defile that body, because if you do that, God is going to take you out, your name from the book of life, and you will never be able to go back to God. Because the Bible also tells us, for those who have once tasted the heavenly gifts, if they fall away, it is impossible for them to be brought back to God. Be careful of what we do. So that is the service that we must be. Now, I want to draw the conclusion. the conclusion, those who hinder or make it difficult for the growth of the church may never know the damage they have done. For those who put obstacles to prevent the growth of the church, they may never know the damage they have done. They don't see, they won't see because Satan would have blinded their eyes. We can be a strong congregation if we were to do a following things. When old men die and new men are resurrected, put our old man onto the cross. Don't bring it down again. Do not conform to the patterns of the world. Do not be of the world. String it onto the cross and be the new man, putting on Christ. Walk in newness of life.